All right, guys, welcome back to the Autohound, and today I want to thank Danvers Ford once again for giving me this awesome new 2024 Mach E Mustang. This is the all-electric Mustang. Now, say what you will about whether or not it's a Mustang or it's not a Mustang. Corvette is even coming out with an actual SUV as well, and I'll show you that picture right about now in the top right-hand corner of the page. But if you take a look at this truck, or SUV, it's $56,000. You might think, wow, $56,000, that's a lot of money. But you get a lot for what you're paying for. First of all, look how sleek this is. And I gotta be honest, again, I'm not an electric car guy. However, this sets it off nicely. Check this out. This is super, super nice. And it's well laid out. Look at this. This is fantastic. So, you know, when I look at cars, and I say, wow, that's really pretty, I'm not joking. This is really a pretty car, and they did it really well. So let's do a quick exterior view, but before we do it, let's get into the back seat. Press the button, door pops automatically, get right into the back seat. And kids could fit here just perfectly. This is a 5-seat car. No issues with this. Got the full sunroof right here. And it's nice, actually, moonroof, I should say. And it's got the Bluetooth up there in the corner, so you could speak right into your Siri and go from there. In addition to that, getting out of the car, you just pull on this little lever right here, and that gets you right out. Closing this up, we come back to over here in the very back of the car. Underneath the license plate, or underneath the Mustang logo, is, of course, the button to pop it. In addition to that, it has the kick where you can swipe your foot underneath it. But if you take a look right here, you could set the height of how high you want the tailgate to go based on your garage or the setting that you might happen to be in. So I think that's a pretty cool feature. Hit the button again, and voila, it goes right down, as it should. Coming over to the side, standard everyday, pop that open, there's your electric charging port, plug it in, and you're ready to rock and roll. In addition to that, to get into the car, you have the keypad, which is right here, which I don't know if it can be picked up on camera. Just press this button right here, pull on the handle, pops open. Let's look under the hood. Pull it twice, come around the front. Now, learn something interesting. This one doesn't have the automatic hood like the Lightning does. However, you just pick it up, it's on 2 struts, pretty solid. Fill up your fluids over here. This panel comes off in case you ever need to service anything, but you don't want to get behind there. Here's what I learned. These two are actual cup holders. Ford was supposed to use this as a cooler, but they did away with the drain plug over here. So in case you didn't know that, this was supposed to be a cooler for when you would go out to the beach or something like that. I thought that was a really cool feature that they put into the car. Close it. Call it a day. All right, let's get into this and take a quick little tour of the inside, and then we'll get going. But before we do that, before we get in, there's a little cubby over here. Open and close the door. Here are your windows and your mirrors, locking, and you can set all 3 memories right here. Right down there is your electric seat with the lumbar bolster. It says Mustang right on it, so you know you're getting into a Mustang. The lights are right here. Pretty cool. And your adjustable steering wheel is right there. So far, we've got a good review going. We want to make sure we got the right review going. So what is the big downside to electric vehicles right now? Well, it's freezing cold, it's winter time, and people are worried about range and how fast they go and how fast they charge and whatnot. So here we go. Let's start it up. Foot on the brake. The car is now running. And it's telling me, put your seatbelt on. And it's definitely not shy about it. The car's only got 23 miles on it. It's got the little turn dial to put it into gear, the parking assist, your hazard lights, and your e-brake. Down here, you get a nice little storage section. It slides right back. Pretty neat. And down here, it has a charging pad for your phone, along with, in the back, you can see a couple of USB ports. So you can charge multiple things in this car. Open up the glove box, very small, simple glove box. Bang & Olufsen sound system. Using the car. Alright, this is where I had a little bit of fun before I started doing the actual review, and I dug into a few things. I was looking for sport mode, and I honestly don't know how to put the car into sport mode. However, I can tell you that this is pretty straightforward. It has a little sketch thing. If you want to do sketches, for some reason when you're sitting in your car, you could sketch. So I don't quite understand it, but I think it's kind of cool just because it's a neat little quirk. And I'm all about neat little quirks. It has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, has media navigation, and look at the map on this thing. This is proper navigation. This is really nice, and you can even have it in 3D. There's the Ford dealership right there, shows you right there. You can zoom right in, and again, this is Danvers Ford, so I gotta tell you, pretty impressed with that. Go back to your little home button, go to your entertainment. You can watch YouTube, NBC News. It has different games the kids could play when you're in the car, and of course your temperature controls are here. Your heated seat is right here and right here. Heated steering wheel, the fan speed, max defrost, and regular rear defrost. In addition to that, you've got your wipers and of course your turn signals. The steering wheel is very much like the Maverick. It looks a lot like my Maverick. Has the cruise control over here, has your volume over here for your phone. You could talk to people and whatnot. Now it's time to get the car out onto the road. So take it, put it into gear, and let's go for a ride. Now, first thing, when I was driving this car, I noticed that there might be a couple of little bumpies in it just because it hasn't been prepped yet by the dealer. So if you hear something, it's not because the car has issues, it just hasn't been prepped. And I want to make sure that you guys are aware of that. What I like about it is it doesn't feel like an electric car. It feels like a regular everyday car. As we're driving, we'll just put a little bit of gas down, throttle into it. It's nice. It's not too quick. The brakes, by the way, are spectacular. It has regenerative braking, so that definitely helps out. In addition to that, we don't want to run over any geese in the middle of the road. All right, we avoided the geese. Duck, duck, goose. Okay. Enough about me being stupid on that. First impressions. I really like the way the hood is designed. It's got these four little scallops, a couple where the headlights are, and then this kind of aerodynamic look right over the two sides of the hood, giving it a really dynamic, sporty look. And we'll take it for the test drive that I always go on for this particular organization. Look, I've been doing business with Danvers Ford now for a couple of years. They're absolutely fantastic. And again, I really truly thank them for this. And this is not a paid advertisement. I come in and I do these reviews and I give my honest assessment of every single car that comes in. And I had a couple of comments recently. It's like, well, you're just a shill for the dealer. I'm not a shill for the dealer. I can assure you, if I don't like a car, I will tell you I don't like a car. I started off with 68% battery life on this car. Right now it's down to 66%. That includes keeping the car warm while I was at the parking lot doing the initial review. So I think that's just like gas mileage. So let's see where we're at in a few minutes. Now I'm going to take this up on the highway and we're going to go back and forth and see how it handles. That corner was very nice, by the way. And again, the brakes are just unbelievable. I love these brakes. I can't say enough about them. And the only thing, this is kind of big for me. I just seeing a big, huge pad on the dashboard, but I really think this, obviously it's the future. I know Tesla does it. It's pretty big, but it gives you a lot of information. It gives you your charging information, tells you everything you need to know about what's happening with the car. We get 113 miles of range, 66% left on the battery. Press and hold to reset. Charging locations you could look for. It has your owner's manual, tells you what street you're on. It's really pretty cool, and it has all these great cameras there where you could actually see in front of you and in back of you. So going off this right here, and wow, it's so like smooth. The power is effortless. It doesn't feel like it's pulling against itself. Since some electric cars that I've driven, they feel a little kind of like, all right, I'm going to fight you a little bit. The Tesla, I think, does that a lot more than I expected it to. However, this does not. It feels really, really good. Take this turn here and get it up on the highway. Now I could add some throttle sounds just to be funny, but I'm not going to. I do miss that in electric cars, all electric cars, not just this one. Here we go. Instant throttle response. Handles really nice. Wow, this is super, super nice. Very, very nice, very smooth. So it has a Bang & Olufsen speaker system in it. It's really cool. And as I mentioned earlier when I was doing the walk around, Corvette is now going to be launching an SUV. Now, Mustang did it, and to some chagrin of a lot of Mustang people, they feel that the Mustang name is steeped in rich tradition and history since 1964, and they're not wrong. Corvette, since 1953, they have decided that they're going to do a SUV as well, named the Corvette. And you know, I think that in part they're doing these with the big manufacturers based just on scales of economy. If you look at what's happening, everything is so expensive to produce. Even putting in a name for a car is just becoming more and more expensive because you have to trademark it all over the world. So why not take your current car that you have with a current name that is recognizable and put it into this? I was dead set against the Ford Mustang Mach E just because it was a Ford Mustang and it was an SUV. I gotta change my mind a little bit here. I think you have to have some growth, and the growth that's going to happen is you want to get people excited about a car. Well, no one's going to be excited about a Mach E. They're going to be excited about a Corvette. They're going to be excited about a Mustang. So Mustang Mach E, or whatever the Corvette has decided to do with what they're going to name their new Corvette electric truck. And I think that's just what you're going to see kind of moving forward. Lamborghini, Porsche, Ferrari, all of them have now made electric vehicles. It's time for the other manufacturers, the reasonably priced cars, to be able to, you know, step up into that market and create something that's new and exciting. But let's not change the name. Let's just keep some brand name recognition. And that's what Ford is doing, and I got to go with it and applaud them. This car handles so incredibly well, and it's built amazing. I've driven so many Tesla Model Ys. By the way, the #1 selling car in the United States last year, the Tesla Model Y. This could give it a huge run for its money. Huge run for its money. There are no squeaks, there are no rattles, there's no build quality issues with this. This is a nice looking car. Look at the beautiful leather seats. Look at the multi-tonal dashboard with the 4 different fabrics. You got this nice leather here, a fake kind of plasticky carbon fiber, this nice soft material, and back to a little bit of plastic. But for $56,000, it's a good deal. It's not a great deal yet. It will be, because I think you're going to find yourself in the position like, okay, I'm going to get some tax credits on this. And, you know, charging, that's the other thing that people are worried about. It's so cold in Chicago now, cars are freezing up and they can't find charging stations. And again, we've had this conversation before about once you make charging, EV charging, as ubiquitous as the gas station and charging in 5 minutes, which is going to happen once they create new batteries for it, and they are working on those things, you will see widespread adoption of the electric vehicle. We have to worry about the whole power plants and all that and where the energy is going to come from. However, this really and truly is the next evolution and the next iteration of cars. 150 years ago, nobody ever thought that you'd be able to get a car as opposed to a horse. They didn't even know what an automobile was. In 150 years from now, you're not going to know what an internal combustion engine is. It's going to be looked at as a relic. And that's just kind of what the future is going to hold. And unless you are prepared to accept that and go with it, then you know, you're going to kind of just live in the past. But in 150 years, no one's going to care. No one's going to know. And they're like, oh yeah, the internal combustion engine, that was great. Now we have all these power plants that are powering our electric cars, and it takes it, you know, 2 minutes by sitting over a charger and in my driveway, which every house has it built into it. And again, I'm thinking Jetsons type stuff here, but it could happen. So that's it here from the Autohound. I really want to thank Danvers Ford once again. If you like this type of content, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, it's about the drive.